Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and no, not this one. It's the new one, the 2022 game that will be released in October. Trying to draw a final conclusion from the beta is of course very difficult. Final touches and changes will be done before the full release in October. At least we hope so. A bunch of feedback will be provided to the devs and hopefully good changes will be made. In the beta there are a couple of modes, I played all of them and they were pretty fun. But my least favorite was Invasion. There are a bunch of bots, which is not the most fun experience, at least if you are not a fan of playing against easy NPCs. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is pretty much tight, strategic, chaotic, destructive combat. That's what Call of Duty good at. And it's good, at least if you like that type of games. Personally, I had to adjust for a moment. I myself have been playing Rainbow Six Siege and Valorant, which are slower paced type of games, but nonetheless I really enjoyed Call of Duty. It's been like 5 years that I played the last one. At least not the last one that came out, but the last one that I played. And while testing the beta, the good old memories came back. I totally love the kill cams, the new weapon kill cams at least. Invasion mode is described as more of a chill mode. Some of the time you will be focusing on bots, and then all of a sudden you get killed by an online player. There are actually a bunch of quality and audio settings which are really good, especially for content creators. Really appreciate it, it's a huge improvement. With all that being said, I did run into some beta stuff. FPS is not always as high as it should be. I heard a bunch of people commenting that the game crashes. I personally didn't have that type of problem with the game. And of course it's all beta, so I hope that all the bugs will be improved and the real game will be a little bit better in October 2022 when it comes out. If I have to give this Call of Duty a review in a number from 1 to 10, I'll probably give it a 7 or 7.5. I know there is a bunch of hate on the game right now, and sometimes we as players expect something else from the game, and then all of a sudden in the beta, which is usually 1 month before the release, we find out new stuff that's not always what we expected. So there are a bunch of hate on the game already, but to be honest I really enjoy the game. And of course there's a bunch of things which didn't go as the Call of Duty community wanted. A lot of people keep saying that they wanted the old game with better graphics, no glitches, new maps and new guns. But it is what it is, and sure it's maybe not what we expected, but I do think that the game is pretty nice. I do have a lot of fun playing it. If you are buying it, I wouldn't really say that it's worth €70 that I paid for it. At least in Europe it's worth €70 right now if you're buying it. But it's more like a 35/40 euro, which is probably, I'm not sure, the dollar is right now I think as high as euro at the moment, but at least that's the price what I would give it from what I experienced. The game is still a lot of fun, but €70 is kind of ridiculous for this game. At least that's my opinion. I know a bunch of Call of Duty players would pay like €200 maybe for it, or a bunch of skins in the game, but from what I experienced I would probably give the game like 35-40 euro. But to be honest, recently the games are crazy high, so for a new game you're paying always 65-70 euro or dollar, so it's nothing new actually. So there are also a bunch of stuff added to the game, to the beta even. There's a new gameplay, we made adjustment to player visibility that should make enemy targets easier to spot. There are perks, there's new maps, there's introducing the 2 new maps, Sarif Bay and Said. Modes, Ground War is back, so you can go ahead and enjoy 32 versus 32 combat with a brand new vehicle and dynamic combat. Introducing our sandbox TMD Invasion. Invasion is not my favorite, I just want to say that. Invasion pits 2 team of 20 player and 20 AI against each other, so really not that good. With large maps, 80 combat, it's water play, ground vehicles, air vehicles and more. It's absolute chaos, wouldn't say that. Third person mosh pit is returning for the weekend too. What do we have new? New perks. The perks earn rate will remain the same for the beta weekend 1. Once all the platforms are open, we'll be increasing the earn rate significantly, so that's nice. Also audio decreased the overall distance from which you could hear the enemy footsteps, mixed the volume of local and non-local player slide sound to be more in line with the other movements, added an equalizer to soften any footsteps versus enemy footsteps, it's actually ally not enemy. So added an equalizer to soften ally footsteps versus enemy footsteps, making enemy audio more distant, adjusting mixed presence, presets. Today I'm having trouble reading, particularly the mix of ambient sounds, which will make footsteps slightly less pronounced. Weapon tuning, reduced damage with full auto, increased full auto recoil, minor headshot damage reduction, FSS Hurricane is reduced damage at distance, slower headshot at multiplayer. M4 is minor hip fire spread and increase. M16 minimum damage reduction, minor headshot damage reduction. So there's a bunch of stuff actually changing, and well, I mean, it is the beta, so it's kind of difficult to predict how the final game will be, because of course it's a beta, so a lot can change in the lead up to release, but it's a pretty good indicator of what to expect from the game when it releases in October. So it's like a taste of the real game. However, what I'm worrying about is that usually the beta is not really changing much. So all the things we are saying to the devs won't really change the game, because usually the beta is only put up just to test the game, how it works. So pretty much, does the game work, does it have bugs? But the devs don't really usually listen to the reviews of the game. So pretty much, if we are saying we want to change this and this, and the percentage of gamers that want to change it is way higher than actually the other ones that don't, they won't change it. So pretty much the game will be as it be, probably for the few couple months when it get released. But we will see. Maybe the devs will change some couple of things, but usually in the beta they don't really listen to feedback, or at least not really, only the glitch feedback, not really the improvements. So that's kind of thing what makes me worry. But still, I think it's gonna be a decent game. This was it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about the beta. Do you really enjoy it, or do you think like, hey, they shouldn't have done a lot of things? For example, the sliding is right now terrible, and I hope they will change it. So let me know what your thoughts are on the game, and do you think it's worth the €70 or $70, whatever you paid for it? Some even have more, because there's a special edition for it, I think, with a couple of new skins, which is kind of ridiculous to pay. I think in Europe it was €120, so €120 for like a couple of skins. So it was like, I think, 30-40 euro extra what I already paid. Let me know what your thoughts are, and yeah, I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.